Hello, my name is Brianna Bajubis. I am in Section 1, and here's my Journal 5 on student diversity. I saw that there's not that much diversity in our classroom. We have several African American students, but that is the extent of different cultures and races. The learning styles obviously differ from student to student, which we all know. Um, the only disability that we really have is one student has a speech disability. And for economic status, it's kind of a given when you see the children who have no school supplies versus children who have like a lot of school supplies. And also I saw a lot with hygiene. Like let's say students at home don't necessarily have the hot water or have the money to run the heat for the hot water. You can just tell that some students are just cleaner than others, as well as with their clothing. And I definitely think that has to do with economic status. Our school values diversity. Not exactly seen, but you just know that schools do because I have seen different races and different diversity in other classrooms, just not necessarily in my first grade classroom. My CT does read stories about different family lifestyles. She does this with her reading language in the morning for her whole group. And all students in my classroom get along. I wouldn't say that like, a certain group of students like in the same diversity just hang out or get along. Everyone gets along in my classroom, which is great. For curriculum, each week's language and reading curriculum isn't necessarily about culture, like going to detail about culture, but you'll see the characters and all the stories are different races and different ethnicities, which is good to see. That's all not just say like let's just say Caucasian or just all African American, all Asian. It's just a mix of people, which is nice to see in characters. And our classroom library has a whole tub of cultural books, which is also great to see. And I haven't really seen any personal connections for students of diversity. There may have been some that I've never seen, but because of we have so little diversity in the classroom, it's just not seen every day. As for instruction, there's only one student who really needs help, and that's the student with a speech impediment. And so instruction for him doesn't really need to be changed in order to help him out. But whenever he does speak, my CT and we try to coach him to speak more properly or help him pronounce words. And that's the most that we can do. But as for instruction, it doesn't need to change because he still learns just like all the other students. For techniques and methods that appeal to a variety of learning styles, my teacher does small group, whole group, independent work, and group work. I feel like my CT utilizes all techniques so the children will learn one way or another. And she's very good with, if a student needs help one-on-one, she'll either send me to go sit with them and help them, or she'll do it. So she's very good and stays on top of that all the time. And for other tools that she uses, she always uses her smartboard. That's for every whole group lesson. And she uses iPads, which is always in the rotation for a small group. As for assessment, I wouldn't really say that there's different forms of assessment to show student learning to support diversity because like I said, there's really not that much diversity in our classroom. So I would just say that the assessment would just be all the same for all the students, which nothing wrong with that. It's just because we just don't have that much diversity in our classroom. So that's it. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video.